Alright, so this video we are talking about the American public education system and how it is easily one of the worst things we have not updated since we started it. So for background on how we organized our education system was made around 100 years ago, back during the Industrial Revolution. And when you look at why we had created the way we did, it was so then, because the majority of people would end up working in the factories, the founders of our education system founded it in such a way that they could easily just keep pumping out factory workers after factory worker after factory worker. These factory workers had to stick to a strict schedule that often required waking up early and then getting home mid to late in the day, because that was what the factory jobs entailed. So that's how they designed it. But lately, we don't have any factories anymore. So because of that, there's no real point in just having a essentially an indoctrination machine, because that's exactly what the founders of the education system entailed it to be, an indoctrination system, to be indoctrinated essentially into factory life. But again, America is now a consumerist society. We don't really do much of that crap anymore. But the issue is that we've still kept that education system. So instead of teaching children things that are important in life that are going to use more often, like emotional maturity, critical thinking skills, and how to improvise when things don't go correct or to their plan, or even other basic life skills like cooking or cleaning properly, or finances. We barely do any finance in our schools currently. Instead of teaching our kids stuff like that, we've got the same old stuff that's over 100 years old now, was purely meant to make more factory workers, more listeners, more people who will be submissive when it came to authority, and essentially unable to think for themselves, because again, way back during the Industrial Revolution, they did not want free thinkers in factories, because then it would have made people want more working rights and all that. But it turns out it just took longer in order to get said rights and all that. So yeah, the way that I would do it is I would essentially just destroy the current education system, just strip it all away and do a factory reset on it. Because to be frank, it doesn't make much sense with the system that we have right now. Especially when you start looking into the science behind older kids, like teenagers such as myself. We need way more sleep than the average adult, who needs 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Teenagers need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So when we wake up at 6 a.m., go to school for 6, 7, or 8 hours, depending on where you live, and then you come home and you think you're about to relax, but nope, your teachers hate you and they assigned homework. Because once again, we're not allowed to leave school, essentially, and they want to indoctrinate us by making us essentially just ignore our family. Like, when you think about how much time we spend away from our family during school years, I've probably spent more time in school in the last 2 or 3 years than I have with my actual family, just because of the sheer amount of work I've had to do for my classes. And and it was only last year that I took a lot of AP and honors level classes. I didn't do much the other years. But last year, I pretty much never got to interact with my family. I'd come home around 2, I get home at 2:30 from a 15-minute bus ride, and then I would be doing homework until 7 or 8, eat dinner, and then go back to doing schoolwork until almost midnight, and then I'd have to wake up in 6 hours. So one thing we'd have to do is later start times. And I don't understand why we can't do later start times. Like, we wake up at 6 at my school, go to school for 6.5 to 7 hours, get out at 2:15. School starts at 7:40 a.m. So I don't understand why we can't just push it back to like 2 or 3 hours. So then so that way then school starts around like 8:40 or 9 or somewhere around there. Because in my head, that makes a crap ton more sense than waking up at 6 a.m. 5 days a week just to go to school for 7 hours and get home after lunch. Like, I eat 2 lunches in a day. I eat one during my regular lunch at school at 11, and then I eat my other one at home at 2:30. Because I wake up, eat around 6:30, then I leave my house at around 7:05. And then, yeah, it does not, the timing on it does not make sense, and it will never make sense, but that's my spiel for this. So, thanks for listening to my turning into discourse talk.